My name is Monica and I am 24 years old.
My name is Summer and I'm 30. Wow, I was going to give myself less years than I am.
My name is Vincent George Hoylett and my age is 55.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I am 21 years old.
My name is James and I'm 35 years old.
My name's Vivian. I am 49 years old.
Hi, I'm Saul. I'm 21.
To keep it short, I think no, it's not very realistic, especially on social media like Instagram and stuff, because that's just the image. For example, in Instagram, they do just pictures. They might just do a picture of a couple and then that's it. You only see the surface level. You literally just see an image. You don't see what went behind that picture or anything like that. And then in movies, for example, as I said, the cheating side of things, they might show the cheating, but they won't show the trauma and like the deep thought behind that process and everything. I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm not saying cheating's okay.
I mean, I don't know actually, because I think it depends what you follow. So I'll just talk about social media from my perspective because I don't really know if I watch like romantic films and stuff, and I haven't really read books in a long time, but the kind of pages I follow on social media, I also feel like it depends how I'm feeling about my partner at the time. So sometimes I'll be liking posts where it's like the girls talking about all the amazing things their partners are doing. But then equally, I'll kind of find myself getting lots of posts about the useless husband, the rubbish boyfriend who doesn't do enough. So I don't know if necessarily it's like unrealistic, because I do think it depends what is being like shown to you or what you're following. Yeah, that's just my experience anyway.
It can be. In some cases, it's realistic. I always encountered many years ago when I was actually a teenager, and I watched this particular film. I never forget it. It was about last night. That is the actual title. It really did show emotions of two people getting together in relationships, and what can befall two people in relationships, and it certainly rang a bell for me throughout my relationships that I've had over the years. But I'd say it was actually realistic. It was really realistic.
Obviously. The film Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging. So that film shows absolute god of a man, Aaron something something, and he chooses Georgia Nicholson over Lindsay Smagmali. And Lindsay is absolutely gorgeous. Georgia has got a massive nose and she's got a really awful personality. She's just a bitch. And he ends up choosing her when he's already going out with Lindsay, and that's just something that would never happen in the real world, especially for teenagers, because all they care about is getting some hot, you know.
It's a good question. I think at times it is portrayed as unrealistic. That's the thing now. I'm struggling for examples right now, but I do recall watching some movies where they've portrayed love, and it's this whole thing where you meet the person and you fall in love, and everything just progresses quite quickly, and all of a sudden there's a family. I'm really struggling with examples, but I do feel that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes the media doesn't portray the things that do happen, after you meet the person, when the honeymoon stage is done, over and done with. And I think, especially social media, on Instagram, I guess I can give examples. So on Instagram, where you have these posts to do with couples and the rest, I don't know, it feels a bit idealistic sometimes, just to me. So yeah, that's my example.
The portrayal of love in the media is most definitely unrealistic. And I've seen that in every single film I've ever watched. Every single Christmas film I've ever watched. And most recently, I've been watching Love is Blind and Married at First Sight. And whilst they show it to not be all sunshine and lollipops, I find the arguments very scripted and unhelpful.
I believe the portrayal of, I believe love is portrayed unrealistically in media because relationships are either portrayed as like super perfect and great or super toxic. And it's like no in between. There's no normal relationships.
Definitely has, because when I look at social media and I see certain posts about how healthy love looks and what unhealthy love looks like, then it makes me more mindful in my own relationship. And obviously when you see crappy relationships in movies, you don't want that for yourself, so there's that as well.
So yes, if at times I'm not feeling like the best about how the relationship is, and then I'm seeing all the stuff of the girls with a big bouquet of flowers and the cooked dinner and the holiday and then this and that, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? That can impact how I'm feeling at that time. So then I think it's a reminder that that's like a highlight of their moment. Like that's their moment of happiness. That is what they're showing to me right now, that they're having this really good time. And me and my partner have really good times all the time, but I don't ever post like my ins and outs on social media, so people don't see that. Equally, I don't post like bad stuff on social media, so people don't see that either. But yeah, I feel like there is like a well-rounded bunch of women who's posting like, these are the really amazing days we're having, and equally there's accounts where it's like, yeah, it's okay to have these troubles, things don't always go well. So I think my feed is quite balanced.
In the media, we look on so many of these romantic tales, so many true stories. You know, you have to gauge it for yourself. Has it affected me personally? Again, yes, throughout my teenage life and onwards, yeah, I would say it was realistic to this one particular film that I watched. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Let me think. Yes. Can't think of any examples, but most definitely.
No, not really. I do believe in working things out with your partner. When I say working things out, just knowing what works for your partner and what works for yourself. Communication is quite key. And I'm just lucky in the sense that I have a partner who is able to have discussions with me about like how things might look in media and how they do not apply to us. So sometimes, there might be things we can take and apply to us and just improve how our relationship is. But generally, we take everything we see with a pinch of salt, basically.
I think the portrayal that I see in the media has affected how I judge the love I have. And I think perhaps you look for more because your own relationship is seen as wanting and other people have the perfection which doesn't exist, and you want it for yourself.
I don't think so, because I think the way that everyone loves is very subjective to them, and I don't think something as basic as media could change that.
I believe I am very much in love with Yusuf.
I'm currently in love with James.
I'm in love with my wife, Vivian Princess Fiona.
I'm in love with Saul, my lovely boyfriend.
Imagine if I said someone else, so no, it was of course my current partner.
I am in love with Vincent.
I'm in love with myself and Zoe.
I have been in love more than once. I've been in love with myself for a very long time. Yes, I have been in love more than once. I think that's a valid answer. I love myself and I am in love with myself, and I am also in love with Yusuf as well.
So, until I met my current partner, I would have said yes, but now I don't. I think I would still say yes, but it was different. It didn't feel the way that it feels now. So I don't know if that's like because of the relationship I have, because of the partner I have, because of age or past experiences. It could be lots of different things.
Yes, because that in some respects makes it twice. As of where I am today, twice.
Yes, I guess.
Yes, I have. I'm in love now, but I was in love when I was younger, And the thing is, I thought it was love at the time, but looking back now, it wasn't really love. It's just that I never experienced a kind of love as I feel now.
I have been in love precisely once.
Falling in love feels different for everybody. There's no wrong or right answer. But some people's falling in love might start off with infatuation, and then you get like into the nitty gritty, and then you fully start properly loving the person as you learn who they are and like what they can be like and everything. For me personally, I feel like falling in love, or I like to say growing in love rather than falling in love, feels like getting to know the person. Like, okay, let's just say getting to know Yusuf and learning all different sides of him, his goofy side, his happy side, his sad side, his excited side, whatever, his scared side, whatever it is, all different sides of him. And like the level of love deepens with that.
For me, it felt a bit scary actually, because I was very, do I want to say skeptical? I don't know if skeptical is the word, but I think I was coming from a place of being like, you know, had relationships before, felt like I've been in love before. So if this goes wrong, then whatever. You can like, don't put all your hopes up on it. But I think that as I've felt more secure in a relationship, I feel that it feels like really warm. It feels like home. It feels just really kind, really gentle. It just feels very whole. It feels so whole.
Do you know what it feels like? It's a longing for that person. You miss that person. On occasions, you know, where I have been in love previous to my relationship now, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep because of the thoughts about that person, you know, the longing to be with them. And yeah, I would say as of this 2023 up to now with my wife, there can be occasions, yeah. I know I'm in love, yeah.
Falling in love feels like just, I don't know, having someone there for you, being there for someone, putting aside your petty differences, even overlooking the fact that sometimes they like to eat toast in their own bed and they get crumbs everywhere, but you still are like, you know what, it's fine, and you make them get a Hoover rather than scream at them in their face. That is love.
Yeah, for me, I've always asked that question, what does it feel like for me? Because I have had difficulties before in knowing what exactly it is. And when I've been asked that question by one of my exes, at that point, I didn't know what it was and I wasn't there. So I didn't give a favorable response. It didn't go well. But now I feel like I know what that means. For me, it's just knowing that I can't do anything without that person. Even when I'm on my own, I think about her. I can't imagine life without her. And obviously, the equivalence of butterflies, I get that for her. And yeah, no, it's definitely a distinct feeling that I've gotten from just being infatuated with someone.
I have absolutely no idea what falling in love feels like, because I don't think I fell in love. I think I probably crawled into love. There was no big drop. There was no big surge of feelings. I just woke up one day and realised I was.
It's kind of like, I don't know, feels very blissful. It's like hiking up a mountain and looking back 2 hours after hiking up a mountain and then seeing this beautiful view and thinking, oh shit, I'm in love.
I don't feel like there was a key moment that I can put my finger on specifically, but it was a feeling and a thought that I realized over time with being with him, that I really feel really deeply about him and I really care and love him a lot. So yeah.
So I thought I loved James from quite early on, but I didn't realise I loved James until I got like sick. So I was ill, and it just did some mad things to me. Like, yeah, just it was really stressful time. And the way this man stuck by me, remember I talked about acts of service. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but acts of service is my love language. And yeah, I mean, I just this guy, like, he has his own place. If he wants to leave, he can go at any time. There's nothing keeping him here. We don't have no like massive commitments, no children, no marriage. And you've got a partner who's going through like the emotions every single day. And it was quite early on in the relationship. It was so easy. He could have just picked up and said, you know what, babe, I'm just gonna go have some time for myself. And he didn't. I can't believe it. I just felt so lucky, so grateful to have someone like that. That just unconditionally is going to be there for me the way that I would be there for him. Yeah, and I just knew then. I was like, yeah, I'm in love with James. Not in love. I don't really like the phrase in love. I feel like in love sometimes sounds like that's something I used to say like as a child. I feel like I love James. Not in love. I love James.
Yes, I certainly remember it. At the point that I wanted to be with her, she was having to move out of the premises that she had shared with several of her friends over many years, and she was going to be by herself alone. And I felt, you know what, this is a case, you know what, I really want to be with this lady. And yeah, I expressed that to her, that you will not be by yourself. I want to be there with you.
I can't remember, but I was definitely the one pushing for us to start being in a relationship.
Yeah, there was a distinct. There's been several. Let's be honest, several. But there's just one thing that happened. I have a home outside London, and I remember speaking to my partner. We were talking at the time. It hadn't developed to what it is now. So at the time, I had a little accident in that I was cooking and the oil splashed all over the kitchen. And where I was on the phone to her when it happened. No, I was speaking to her around the time it happened. And then I just explained that to her, and I was just like, oh, it's something I need to deal with, because I just didn't like how it looked. It was palm oil. So it had a distinctive red stains, more than one, in the kitchen area. It's not noticeable if you're not looking for it, but obviously it's something that affected me. So I thought I needed to paint over it. So it was just that little conversation. You know, that was it. It was done. I made a mental note, which I kept forgetting. But the next time she saw me, she had gone to B&Q and got me a little tub of paint and a brush. So that was quite nice. It sounds quite small, but for me, it just kind of confirmed everything that I had in my head about her. So the fact was, you know, she was definitely keeping me in mind. So that felt really good.
I don't know when I realised when I fell in love. I know I said it probably before I knew it, but I don't know when I knew it.
Well, to start off with, my parents broke up when I was 3 years old, so I didn't really have a role model from my parents per se, like even after that in terms of relationship. I never really had like anyone close to me that was married or deeply in love or anything like that. It was mostly from what I learnt myself growing up.
No, I didn't have a role model for love.
That generally, it would normally see two people being together and have gone through life, still being there to the end. And unfortunately, I can't necessarily say for any particular elders for relationships. No, there isn't anyone. It would always be down to, as you expressed earlier, for films, possibly people view and see how it should be.
Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne. When I was younger, Twilight. A lot of Twilight for love. Twilight. But now that I've grown in age and I'm a lot older, I can safely say Twilight is not a good portrayal of love.
I don't know that I have seen any role models for love. Not in my own parents, not in the media, not in friends. There is not a single successful relationship I can see, and there's not a single relationship I would look to emulate.
What did my parents teach me about love? Well, my dad always said that love is hard and love hurts. So that's the idea of love that I kind of grew up with. And my mum didn't really find that person for herself. So what did I learn about love? Well, I learned that love is difficult and love is hard and love is temporary and love doesn't last and love is always short. And yeah, it wasn't like the best sort of teachings about love. If you're conscious enough, then you kind of know what love you want for yourself, and it looks different for everybody. And as long as it's not harmful and it's not hurting and it's not painful, which I don't believe is true, then that is the most important thing, as long as you're happy.
I think the message I've taken from what I've seen is that you should do what makes you happy.
Some people would see their appearance. This is how it should be. Unfortunately for me, there hasn't been anybody that was outstanding to say, yeah, these are the people that I would see, the course of love.
Not much, actually.
Love is patient. I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's true. It's patient and it's kind. It's never like how we see it on social media, I find. It's patience, isn't it? That's what I saw with them. I don't remember ever hearing them being in conflict, even though I know that they have. So I feel that what I've taken from that is that no matter what your issues are, it's best resolved at home between the both of you. I don't think people around should be privy to it. I definitely don't think the public, so even people within the home shouldn't be privy to those kind of things. And I definitely don't think the public should be either.
My parents taught me how not to have a marriage. And that is it.
Was about 3 years ago. We met inside a zero waste health shop in Streatham. He was working there, and I think I was talking to him about dried mango bits or something like that. And yeah, and then I noticed he was there and we started talking, and I think we exchanged Instagrams or something like that. Nothing happened then in that year. It's only 3 years later or so that we actually started talking to each other. And yeah, the rest is history.
I met my partner on Tinder. So we met on Tinder and we went on like a date in the O2. It was a really nice date, actually. I really liked him, but I was proper dating at the time, like different date every week, every day, 4 times a week, whatever. So when I met my current partner, I was still in that, and there was someone else I was talking to at the time who had been talking to for like a good month, and we decided to take things seriously. So I remember, I think I called James. No, I did. I called him. The others, I just cut them off. But James, I was like, I really liked him. And I wasn't sure if I was making a mistake at the time. So I called him and I just explained, like, this is the decision I'm going to make. This is what I'm going to do. And I really wanted us to stay friends. And he said that was fine. So we were friends for years, like proper, just good, honest friends. I would cook, and like James would come round. We would work together. It was just really nice being in his company. I didn't think anything of it. Then I had like a long-term relationship, so I didn't see him. I don't think there was like a period of time I didn't see James for a good 1.5 years, which was quite long because I was seeing him often enough when we were together. And then, yeah, just like my circumstances changed towards the end of last year, and at the beginning of this year we started touching base more because I found that he was working in my second job. So when I found that out, I was thinking, what? Is this like the universe aligning or something? What's going on here? So when the previous relationship had ended, I had these thoughts about James. It was just so I couldn't shift it as well. Because I remember when the time came for me to say to my previous partner, I did have a discussion with my previous partner to let him know, like, I'm seeing someone. And I did acknowledge that on paper, it might seem like I've moved on quite quick, but I feel like that previous relationship ended a long time ago in my mind. Just maybe not saying it and making that connection to say it's over. It ended so long ago in my mind that it was easy for me to think about something fresh. And talking to James, conversations with him. I remember speaking to him on the phone for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I messaged him after to be like, you know what, James? I forgot how nice it is to speak to you on the phone. I forgot how nice it is talking to him. I just felt like I couldn't get enough of this person. So weird, because I'm not really somebody that has feelings like that. So I don't know. That's how I met him. That's how it started.
I met her on the railway in 1995, and we started developing a relationship in 1996. So we both worked for the rail industry. It was that place at London Bridge where I first encountered her, and yeah, she looked very serious. I just, saw this lady and thinking, she's never like that. That can never be that position of her outside work. And I actually discovered, a very funny, vivacious lady outside, character, funny girl. I sensed, that's the person that she was, and just worked within the industry as well. And we done things together that we enjoyed doing together. And then you're still discovering each other as the relationship progresses,
Me and Saul met in, I'd say, the very end of 2021. I'd say December 2021 is when we met. We didn't start going out till January 2022. We met at the lovely establishment known as Wetherspoons. So his friend Zach used to go out with my friend Sarah. We were going out for an evening, me and Sarah and all of our friends. I said to Sarah, who's that fine man with the gorgeous long hair, it's a bit like Jacob from Twilight, and she said, oh, that's Saul. So we met. I orchestrated the event of us meeting.
It's just, on Tinder. we met on Tinder. It was years back. We went on a date. It was a really nice date. I remember everything about it. It was a Busaba Itai in the O2. And it was very, it was a memorable day. Good food and whatnot. I really like Busaba Itai. And what was memorable about that day especially was that the waiters were very keen. I always remember that. They were very keen, and they would come up to us like every single minute to ask us if we were happy, if we wanted more food or drinks. It was just really annoying, and we just really laughed about it. So it was quite fun. That's how we met. And we had, I think, one more date after that. And at that point, I think she was talking to someone else. Obviously, she was dating, wasn't she? And then she just asked us to put it on hold. Not put it on hold, but she just said, well, I'm dating. I've made my decision to go with that person. And if you'd rather be friends, if you don't want to be friends, I can understand, but I would like us to be friends. And I said, yes, I definitely would like us to be friends. And we stayed friends. Over time, just to cut a long story short, we're friends for a long time. Then after a while, we reconnected after a period of not talking. And it just kind of fell in place because the feeling has always been there, really.
I met Vincent in around 1996 when I was but a wee girl. I met Vincent when we were working at London Bridge. So I was a ticket examiner and Vincent was learning to drive trains, and I was my first memory of Vincent is on platform 8 at London Bridge. I'm very serious, I'm probably very cold, I'm very busy, it's very early, and I'm very tired. And he is chirpy and almost irritating in his chirpiness. And from there on, I just bumped into him all over the place. And he seemed to be wherever I was working at the time. And from there, we just clicked.
Okay, so I was going to Spoons with my friends, and I was going for drinks with some of Zoe's friends, and Zoe, I think, had to leave early that day, but she organised another time that we could come see each other, and without me knowing, but I did know because my friends told me. And then I went to Spoons another time, and Zoe was there, and she was like, "Hi, what's your name?" And I was like, "You know what my name is." No, I'm joking. I went along with it, but I knew. And and we had we talked the whole night, just me and her, and we kissed just before she got on the bus, and then I walked back and got right ass drunk. So
I wouldn't say that like you can't get into a relationship at that age, but I really feel like those are key moments to get to know yourself. If my child turned around to me and said, "Oh, I'm in a relationship with someone," would I be like the most happy? I don't know. As long as everything's healthy and happy, then yeah, but a relationship really is a proper commitment. Like, it's not a joke. And I don't think you should be with someone just for the sake of it. I think you should be with someone because you see a future with them. So being at that age, like, you barely probably even know what you want your future to look like. You probably don't even know what you want to do. I barely even sometimes know what I want to be doing with my life. So at that age, 10 years ago, no, it wasn't the one.
Yeah, I think it's madness. So the 14 to 15-year-olds that I work with, the relationships that they're in are just, they're strange. I think they're toxic, and they're just not meaningful. And I think they're just driven by, I don't know, pressures from friends or society. I don't know. But I'm yet to see a 14, 15-year-old in a healthy relationship. So yeah, maybe if others have, they can show it to me. But in my perspective, I just feel that that age bracket should just enjoy the time being kids, because honestly, you can't get that time back. Now that I'm 30, I feel like me saying that really holds weight, because I'm on the other side now. When I tick that little box, I'm not in the, something to 25 or the 25 to 30. I'm like in that 30 something plus bracket now. So boy, I'm talking about as a child, I would have just enjoyed being a child at 14, 15.
You can be in relationships. You can put it the appropriate way of just courting. Courting can mean you can kiss and you can cuddle. There's no afterthoughts. There's anything further than that. And because we're naturally as humans beings, and we're growing through teenage years into what they call puberty, and our feelings change, our hormones change. So it's absolutely natural that this will occur during the early teenage years, 13 on to 16. This is the natural course of our human beings. Yeah.
I believe that 14 and 15-year-olds shouldn't take relationships too seriously. They can say, "I like you, you like me, I bought you, I don't know, some sweets because I love you." But I don't think they're real relationships. I think it's just them just exploring.
Absolutely. I think people who are 14 and 15, a lot is being expected at that age. Even at 14, 15, people are still expecting much. People are doing things quicker, and sex and the rest. People are exposed to, in my opinion, young people are just exposed to a lot more. Some young people, I think they want to grow a bit quicker than they should. And obviously some young people don't have a choice because they've been given so much responsibility, be it from their home situation or otherwise. I do feel that, so yeah, people need to take a step back and just enjoy childhood, adolescence. I think sometimes we're in a rush to do too much too quickly.
14, 15-year-olds getting into relationships is a good thing as long as they're supportive relationships, consensual relationships, and respectful relationships.
Number one would definitely be to make sure you love yourself first before anyone outside of yourself. And I would say, of course, you have to put yourself first in a lot of situations in life. And I would say if you have to sacrifice your own happiness for someone else's happiness, then don't do it.
Don't rush, and don't force it.
I think you just live and learn.
Okay.
You live, you see and you view, you see, and you learn of what's correct for relationships and what's not correct. And social media is certainly not the way to see how to prolong relationships.
Take your time, find the right person. Love will come to you when you're not looking for it. I spent years looking for love, went very downhill, and when I thought I'm over love, I found love. So don't look for it, it will come to you.
Be yourself as much as possible. Learn, speak to people, not necessarily family, but people who are likely to know much more. Speak to them and just get an idea as to what that means. And obviously determine whether this is something you want for yourself. Because, there's no rush. I just think there's no rush. If you meet someone you really love, you fall in love with them, that's different. That's different. And even so, you don't necessarily have to do anything about it. There are other things you can focus on. So yeah, that's my answer to that.
It would be to be more vulnerable, to be equal in the relationship, and try not to dominate that relationship.